Okay, let's dive into one of the most incredible journeys in all of biology, the 9-month odyssey from a single cell to a newborn baby. But hey, this isn't just a cool story. This is a high-stakes, super important topic for your CUET exam, and today, we're going to crack it wide open, step by step. So, here's our game plan. We'll start at the very beginning, with conception. Then we'll track that first crazy week of development, get to know the placenta, cover the grand finale of birth, and then wrap up with a rapid-fire section to make sure this is all locked in for your exam. Let's get started. Section 1. Our story begins right here, at the exact biological moment that two tiny cells fuse together to create a brand new, totally unique individual. This is literally the starting gun for a 9-month developmental race. Just think about that for a second. One sperm, one egg, and in a matter of days, you have a complex multicellular embryo already forming. So how on earth does that happen? That's what we're here to figure out. And why should you care? Because understanding this exact sequence can literally hand you 3 to 4 correct answers on your CUET paper. That's a huge deal. Let me be absolutely clear about this. This is a high-weightage topic. Exam setters love asking about this process, especially in sequence-based MCQs, and questions about how hormones control everything. So the key takeaway here, if you master the chronological flow, you're setting yourself up for some serious marks. So what even is fertilization? Well, simply put, it's the fusion of the male and female gametes. But where it happens, that's a classic exam question. It's not in the uterus, it's not in the ovary, it's at this very specific spot, the ampullary isthmic junction of the fallopian tube. You have got to remember this location. It's a guaranteed mark, I promise you. And this whole sequence is a precise one-way street. First, the sperm gets to the egg. Then, something called the acrosome reaction happens. It's like a chemical key that unlocks the egg's outer layers. The second their membranes fuse, it triggers a block 2 polyspermy. Think of it as a chemical force field that slams the door shut on any other sperm. Super important. That fusion is the signal for the ovum to finally complete its second meiotic division. And boom, we have our diploid zygote. Okay, let's move on to section 2. So we've got our zygote, just a single cell. But what happens in those first 7 days? This is a time of unbelievably fast change, and you better believe every single step is a potential MCQ. This timeline shows the process of cleavage perfectly. It's just a series of really fast cell divisions. That single-celled zygote becomes 2 cells, then 4, then 8. By about day 4, it's a solid little ball of 16 to 32 cells called a morula. Then it develops into a hollow ball, the blastocyst, which is all ready for its next big mission around day 6 or 7, implantation. Now, let's zoom in on this blastocyst because diagram-based questions on this are super common. It's not just a random ball of cells. It has 2 very distinct parts. That outer layer, that's the trophoblast. Its job is to dig into the uterine wall and help form the placenta. And that little cluster of cells on the inside, that's the inner cell mass. That's what's going to become the embryo itself. So implantation is that big moment when the blastocyst attaches to and burrows into the uterine lining, called the endometrium. And this whole delicate process is maintained by one hero hormone you absolutely have to remember, progesterone. Just think of progesterone as the hormone that gets the nest ready and keeps it cozy for the embryo. Which leads us right into our third section, building the life support system. See, once the embryo is implanted, it needs a way to get nutrients, exchange gases, and get rid of waste. And for that, it needs the placenta. You guys, the placenta is an amazing little hormone factory, and this table right here is pure exam gold. It makes 4 key hormones. You've got HCG, that's the one detected in pregnancy tests because it keeps the corpus luteum going. There's HPL, which is all about growth. And of course, estrogen and progesterone, the power couple that pretty much runs the whole show for 9 months. You've got to know these functions inside and out. So while the placenta is getting set up, the embryo is going through some mind-blowing changes. This timeline shows you the big milestones in the first trimester. By the end of the first month, the heart is already formed and beating. In the second month, limbs and fingers and toes start to appear. And by the end of month 3, guess what? All the major organ systems are in place. Incredible, right? And now we jump to the grand finale of these 9 months, section 4, the dramatic process of birth, which we call parturition, and the super important stuff that happens right after. Childbirth, or parturition, isn't just a random event. It's a very precisely controlled neuroendocrine mechanism. It all gets started by signals from the fully developed fetus and the placenta. The trigger has a name, and you need to know it: the fetal ejection reflex. This is what kicks off the whole hormonal cascade. And what is that cascade? It's a powerful positive feedback loop, and the star of the show is oxytocin. So the initial reflex makes the pituitary release oxytocin. That oxytocin causes stronger uterine contractions, which in turn tells the pituitary, hey, send even more oxytocin. This loop just gets stronger and stronger until the baby is born. It's a rare and classic example of positive feedback in our bodies. Okay, after birth comes lactation. There are two key hormones here, and students get them confused all the time. So let's make this really simple. Prolactin is for milk production. It tells the body to synthesize the milk. Oxytocin is for milk ejection. It pushes the milk out when the baby starts suckling. Don't you dare mix those two up. All right, section 5. We've gone through the whole process. Now, let's lock it into your memory so you can smash any questions CUET throws at you. It's time for the rapid-fire review. Let's go. Here is memory trick number 1, and it is a lifesaver. For lactation, just remember this simple phrase: pro makes, oxy pushes. Say it with me now. Prolactin makes the milk, oxytocin pushes it out. It's simple, it's effective, and you won't forget it on exam day. And what about the 4 main jobs of the placenta? Just use the acronym NREE. NREE. What does it stand for? Nutrition, respiration, excretion, and endocrine. NREE. A super quick and easy way to remember all 4. Okay, focus up. This is very important. Let's go over the common traps. I see these mistakes year after year. First, confusing prolactin and oxytocin. We just fixed that. Forgetting what the morula is, a solid ball of cells. And a huge one, thinking the oxytocin loop is negative feedback. No, it is one of the very few positive feedback loops in human biology. Do not fall for these tricks. All right, let's do one last rapid-fire recap. These are the 5 points you absolutely must take with you into the exam hall. 1. Fertilization site is the ampullary isthmic junction. 2. Trophoblast is for implantation. 3. HCG maintains the corpus luteum. 4. Parturition is driven by oxytocin's positive feedback. And 5. Prolactin makes milk, oxytocin ejects it. If you know these 5 facts cold, you are in fantastic shape. And that brings us to your final challenge to wrap this all up. Go ahead, pause right now, and solve this. Which option puts those early stages in the right order? The correct answer is B. Why? Because you have to remember the zygote divides into that solid ball of cells, the morula, before it becomes the holoblastocyst, which is the stage that actually implants. This is the exact kind of question you need to be ready for. Master this journey, and you'll master this topic. Drop your score in the comments below, and hey, if this helped you out, subscribe and become part of the team that cracks CUET together.